Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Hannah Fillingham.
And I'm Brianna Abendroth. Joining us later, Isis Mendoza will have a special guest, and Sophia Snyder will be in the studio with all your Bulldog sports. This is AHS News.
There was a lot of commotion coming out of the high school recently. It was time for the annual Superstars competition, an activity where the grades face off against each other. Nick DePew has more from the exciting event.
The class count, an annual skit, and then the Superstars oath.
For the glory and honor, of all past, present, and future Bulldogs. Bulldogs, let the games begin!
After the oath, the first event was dodgeball. The freshman girls beat the senior girls in a huge upset. After dodgeball, the students could participate in events ranging from Rubik's Cube to arm wrestling, and then it was time for the talent show. After the talent show, the students went to the field house for more excitement. A few of the events were musical chairs, limbo, and the night ended with a tug of war. Then, the winners were announced. The good news for the freshmen, though, is that they will get to participate for 3 more years. This is Nick DePew for AHS News.
Superstars is the most attended event of the school year. It was started decades ago and has evolved over time.
The National Honor Society inducts new members each year. Students filled out an application where they wrote about the pillars of NHS and how each one applies to them. These include character, service, scholarship, and leadership. Inductees also had a minimum of 35 service hours and a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Former Algona graduate Colin Besh was the guest speaker. He currently works as a physical therapist in Waukee.
Continue to strive towards excellence in everyday learning. Continue to serve others for their benefit and for yours. And continue to be the best human that you want to be. Thank you.
A reception was held afterwards for NHS students and their parents.
The Iowa statewide assessment of student progress is finished. The tests are designed to measure students' proficiency in core academic areas, evaluate students against Iowa court standards, and meet federal accreditation requirements. Testing took place on 3 separate days for 90 minutes.
The AHS physics class did a hands-on project recently. Students tested their skills in building small model homes. The goal was to make the homes light up. Students enjoyed the assignment and had fun creating unique homes. This assignment taught students a valuable lesson on how circuits operate.
It's not one of the sports you think of in high school. Some students are involved in archery. The team is called the Royal Arrow Archers and involves 3 AHS students, Carson Myrie, Dietrich Brosder, and Kinley Carls, along with students from other schools. They practice 3 times a week and have meets on Saturdays. Competitors shoot arrows from various distances to gain points. The goal is to get the most points, with X being the highest score on the target.
There's a lot of spirit coming from the AHS gym. The Algona dance team showcased their talent. The night started with their novelty routine that won 4th place in Class 9A at state. They also showcased their pom routine, previous dances from basketball games, and state solos. Here's a clip of one of their performances. Dancers worked hard on their routines, putting on a successful showcase for their audiences.
Pancakes were flying through the commons recently. The FFA hosted their annual pancake feed and labor auction. This is one of the biggest events of the year for FFA. Attendees enjoyed pancakes, sausages, and refreshments. One of the fun highlights of the night was the pancake flipping. Guests tried to catch pancakes that were flying through the air. Most of them were successful. After the pancake feed, FFA members were auctioned off for hours of labor. Here's a look at the auctioneer in action.
Sold to you for $240. At $175 here to $200. Got a bid on them here now. $175 here to $2. At $200 now. $225. Money's on. $2 touch the Emma Spear, and they circled absolutely everything. Did you actually buy the fucker? Mike, see these guys bring decent money. What do you guys say? $200. $175. $200. At $200. $225.
The FFA chapter will use the proceeds earned to fund activities throughout the year. These activities include state and national conventions, classroom activities, and other trips.
Coming up next, the glitz and glamour of prom. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Believe it or not, prom is already over. In the weeks leading up to prom, students were busy buying dresses and renting tuxedos. They planned hair, tan, and nail appointments, as well as making dinner reservations. Here is an example of some dresses worn at prom. The girls buy their dresses from stores, online vendors, and from former students. AHS senior Summer Thompson says she had a blast at prom.
I'm excited for prom this year because I get to dress up with all my friends and spend the whole day with them. It's going to be so fun.
Festivities began at 7 in the high school commons. After social hour, couples walked the Grand March. After the Grand March, there was a dance and after prom activities. The activities included a hypnotist, games, and prizes.
The band and choir students went on their bi-yearly music trip recently. The group visited Chicago and had many memorable experiences. They enjoyed dinner and a show at Andy's Jazz Club. The group visited the Field Museum, the Navy Pier, and indulged in some renowned art at the Art Institution of Chicago. They also saw the infamous Bean and ate some famous deep dish pizza. Other highlights of the trip: the Broadway show Hamilton, the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry, and the world's second largest indoor aquarium.
Band and choir students also headed to Clear Lake for a solo and small ensemble contest. AHS brought home 40 total Division I ratings. Algona claimed 3 outstanding performance selections. David Kissinger, Owen Orban, and Paul Kissinger. These students now have the opportunity to perform in the Outstanding Performers Festival at Iowa State University on May 19th.
The anatomy students traveled to Des Moines University to visit the cadaver lab. After studying the body system for 2 terms, they got the opportunity for a hands-on experience. The class saw and touched human organ samples and a dissected cadaver. A cadaver is a person who donated their body for science research.
7 students traveled to Ames for Iowa State University's behind-the-scenes fashion show. Mrs. Luwaji's creative textiles class went to many different fashion-related seminars, including marketing strategies, fashion drawing, and jewelry making. After they listened to advice from the fashion students and watched a fashion show dress rehearsal, it showcased designs the college students had handmade throughout the year.
The band has had a historic year. They started off with a great performance from both the marching band and the concert band, along with another outstanding concert performance. They were recently named as the top band in 3A. The band's director, Nick Liebel, has been pushing them hard to achieve new heights of success. We wish the band luck as they continue to prepare. Coming up next, Isis Mendoza with award-winning Elizabeth Kingsman. But first, here's a jazz band and choir in action. Stay with us.
If you love somebody, if you love I'm Isis Mendoza, and this is Elizabeth Kingsman. She's here with her award-winning painting, and she's going to tell us about it today.
This is my painting. It's called Benzaiten, and it's based on assimilation from Japanese Shintoism, which is the religion, and then it's based on cloisonne, which is an East Asian metalworking process that includes like the wiring and enamel, and it's pretty cool. It was mainly did this painting so that I could kind of replicate some cloisonne, and it was a lot of work, but I'm really happy with it.
How long did it take you to make?
The wiring itself, based on like I have progress photos, took me about 7 months.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's some dedication. What inspired you to work with like the metal and the enamel?
It's kind of like what I said earlier about the cloisonne. I really want to do that if I can at some point, even just like take a class for it on my free time when I'm older, or like don't really know, but yeah. And also I've been just studying the Shintoism and stuff over the summer, last summer, and I was interested in it, and I think that was my biggest factors.
That's pretty cool. Is there any other kind of art you like to do, or is it like what's your favorite method of painting?
I think my favorite medium would have to be, I've done a few different paintings. I like the gouache. I like how vibrant it is, and I liked metalworking. I think it looks beautiful. It's a lot of work though. I think this is probably my favorite, my best piece so far, but I like doing things in pencil. I like sketching probably a lot more, but I love painting as well.
Good. What are your goals as an artist?
I think right now I'm trying to get 7 or 6 more pieces so I can audition for All-State next year in like Art All-State.
Wow. So what awards did this win?
I can't remember the conference, but it was over in, I think, Fort Dodge. It won Best of Show, which is like the best of the whole gallery.
Wow.
And then that same conference, it was 2nd place in People's Choice. And then I read an article in an email that said it was 1st place in People's Choice, and I thought that was funny.
Did you also get one for like a library show?
Yep, and then there was one in town at the library, and that also won Best of Show.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, looks like all the hard work you put in paid off. Okay.
There's a lot of different pieces in this whole thing, but it's all related, or it all has like a purpose. She's supposed to represent like the god of art in Shintoism. You like worship her for art, and you worship her for luck and all these other things. And that's kind of what this is down here to represent the way they worship. There's certain things in Shintoism. They have this whole thing about torii gates.
Oh, okay.
So when you go through a torii gate, you're supposed to like bow before you enter because it's sacred, and you're supposed to like bow twice, clap twice before you pray in Shinto altars. I thought that was a cool fact. So they're all different things. So like you can pray to her for fertility or like stuff like that, and harvest, and all the arts and music and everything flowing. That's kind of her whole premise.
And what exactly do you use to make it?
I used dollar store materials. I used like a whole like spool of wire. That's how I knew how many yards it was, because I basically almost used a whole spool of dollar store wire and tacky glue. And I had some like artist pliers or whatever, and tweezers. No, not tweezers, but mainly pliers.
Did you paint it and then do the wire, or paint and then?
The wire was first, so it was kind of like a coloring sheet. You kind of just place the wire down the outline, and then you just color it in. Even though it got on the wire, you just scrape it off, and then you don't have to like smudge the paint. That was my main concern. There are a few spots where there's like paint on the outside, but that's just because of the method, and I really did not feel like being that tedious.
It's gorgeous either way.
This is supposed to represent the Great Wave, the famous one, but the waves are supposed to be coming this way over, so it's actually crashing on these rocks. So I put that in my piece too, because there's a thing in gardening where if it goes from east to west, it's good luck, and the other way around is unlucky. So I guess you could consider this like, I don't know, an unlucky wave.
Okay.
And then I had to map everything on like digitally. I colored everything so like the waves could be a cohesive gradient, and so these wouldn't be too overpowering from the focal piece, which is her. So it kind of made, like, the house has a purple roof and stuff, and it looks kind of phantasmal, and like I really like that actually. So the next piece I'm actually working on is like full of like bright colors and like doesn't really make sense entirely, so I think that's kind of cool. And like this whole thing's purple, and this whole thing's like a dark green and dark blue. It's pretty cool. And these are supposed to be red and white, but based on the colors and the shading, it's like...
Well, thank you so much for coming in and showing us your artwork.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Coming up next, sports.
Welcome back. I'm Sophia Snyder with All Your Bulldogs Sports. The boys' track team had a successful Drake relays. Max Nevitt finished an impressive third in shot put. The distance medley team finished third with Will Weichert, Tate Garman, Evan Alley, and Gavin Weber. Weber also placed sixth in the mile. The Bulldogs had other athletes qualify in the 100-meter dash. The boys also qualified 2 relays, the 4x1 and the 4x2. Here are some highlights of the boys' home meet.
We have 3 heats of the 60-meter hurdle prelims. Donovan Harris from North Julian, please report.
It's sexy. Let's go, sexy! Not Quincy Wilson. Oh, what? Don't flail. Keep it going.
The girls' team qualified 1 individual event. Natalie Johnson competed in the 100-meter dash. The girls also ran the 4x1 with Lily Alley, Alyssa Engel, Maya Lentz, and Johnson. Here are some clips of the girls in action. The boys and girls conference meets are on May 7th, and the state qualifying meet is on May 14th. The girls golf team is in the middle of their season. Playing well for the Dogs is Taylor Hellman and Gabby Van Tiger. Here are some clips of the girls winning their home triangular meet.
The conference meet is May 11th and regionals are May 20th. The boys golf team has also got off to a great start, playing well for the Dogs. Nathan Mansky, Wyatt Kelly, and Micah Kissinger. Here are the boys in action.
Beautiful.
The conference tournament is May 7th and the sectionals is May 13th. Joining us now is Gavin Weber to talk about track. Can you sum up how your season's going so far?
It's been going pretty well. Had a good indoor season, and once we got outdoors, we started to get some Drake qualifying times, and yeah, we had a really good Drake relays. We had some people medal. We medaled in the D-Med, got third in that, set a school record. I set the school record in the 1600. I know Max Nevitt medaled in the shot.
You placed at Drake. That's an honor.
Yeah, it was really awesome. A good experience and really good competition down there, and it was good to race some fast kids.
What's a typical practice look like for you?
Just depends on the day. If I have like an easy day or a workout day, you know, we utilize the indoor track a lot this winter and get good speed workouts in. And as the season winds down, getting a lot more speed work in just to get ready for those fast races. And
what are some of your goals for the rest of the season?
just to stay healthy and get ready and prepped for state, districts and state, and yeah, hopefully break more records and get some more state medals.
Do you have any pre-race rituals?
I take a lot of supplements and stuff and drink some caffeine, but try and get a good warm-up in and pray and just do all the things I like to do to set me up for success.
What are you doing next year?
Next year I'll be running cross country and track at Minnesota State University, and I'll be studying exercise science on the pre-physical therapy track.
Thank you, Gavin, for coming in. We ask our seniors what they are doing this summer.
Welcome back. The seniors are closing in on graduation day. They will finish classes in a couple weeks. We asked seniors what they're doing this summer. It's this week's Word in the Halls.
I'm Thompson. Today I'm going to be asking the class of 2026 what they're doing on their summer vacations. This is Word in the Halls.
I'm Max Nevitt, and I'm going to be working this summer.
Hi, my name is Evie, and this summer I'm going to Tennessee with my family.
Hello, I'm Ailey Herkey, and I'm Jordan. And we are going to Savannah, Georgia together this summer. In June.
My name is Gavin Weber, and I'll be getting ready to run cross country in college.
I'm Tate Garman. I'm going to be playing baseball this summer.
Commencement is May 17th. How are you feeling about graduation?
Very bittersweet.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm just excited to hang out with all my friends before we leave for college.
Me too.
We leave you tonight with more from the always popular Superstars event. Have a good night.